What's up, YouTube? You know what time it is. It's MightyFan time, and this is a reply to Baltrack's challenge. And first and foremost, I want to give a special shout out to Baltrack and thank you for the challenge, because as Baltrack said, it has been a while since there's been a challenge amongst the Jersey Heads community, and it's always fun to to reply to these challenges. It's fun to issue challenges too, so hopefully we'll get a few of those going. But Baltrack's challenge was to come up with a jersey that has a pretty special moment or memory for you. And I really enjoyed your story there, Baltrack. I know Borsch posted a reply to the challenge too. I've yet to watch that, but I will definitely get to it there, Borsch. And I figured that I would, get around to making my reply too. And for me, it was pretty simple. I mean, I do have jerseys that represent moments in sports. I mean, the Hank Aaron 715, Mitchell Ness version of that Atlanta Braves jersey. And of course, I have some infamous jerseys as jersey, I should say, as far as being a Philadelphia sports fan, being the '93 World Series Joe Carter Blue Jays jersey that I own, the Mitchell Ness jersey that I own, and people just can't believe I have that jersey. And I say, hey, I forgave him. Ever since I forgave him, the Phillies have been winning, so I took one for the team. But speaking of the Phillies, I mean, I would be remiss if my moment wasn't the '08 World Series, because, I consider myself to be a diehard Philadelphia sports fan, even though I have jerseys of representing many, many teams and many, many cities in the collection. First and foremost, as far as the rooting interests go, it is the Philadelphia, teams. It's the Sixers, the Flyers, the Eagles, and of course the Phillies. And there was a time there that it was it was all you could do to remain a fan. But that's what being a fan is. It's you go through the good times, you go through the tough times, and in Philadelphia we had more tough times. There's other cities out there. I'm not mentioning any names, but they have a lot of good times. But there's something special about being a fan of the Philadelphia teams. There's a lot of passion that's involved in it. There's a lot of interesting opinions amongst ourselves on our teams. It's a lot of fun, and that's what being a fan's all about. It's about having fun. It's about being passionate. I never booed Santa Claus, though, so don't bring that on me. I was not around for that moment. But from 1982 to 2008, it was 20 plus years without a championship with the four major teams. And from the Sixers being the Lakers in '82 to the Phillies being the Rays in '08. Now, I was too young for 1982. My first real memory was '93 with our old good pal Joe Carter. That was my welcome to being a Philadelphia sports fan. But we came close so many times in that period. I mean, '93, of course, in my lifetime, '93, '97 with the Flyers, 2001 with the Sixers, the run they had, and then 2004-05 Eagles, and that was just in the championship rounds. Of course, many occurrences of our teams losing in the semifinals. The Flyers, the Eagles certainly come to mind. The Eagles quite a few times. Yeah. So my reply to this challenge, Baltrack, is I just it wouldn't be right if I had any other reply besides this, because this was my top moment, my top sports moment. I've seen many moments in sports, Philadelphia sports and otherwise, but this one definitely took the top for me, and it was the '08 Phillies. And the jersey of choice is a replica jersey, but it still has a very special place for me because it's the home white replica version of the Phillies Brad Lidge jersey. And there it is, Lidge 54. He really hasn't been the same since this moment. And great moment, though, that it was. He's been on the DL a lot and stuff, but this jersey will always have a special place for me. And it also has the World Series logo there, 2008, and it has Champions written on the bottom. Now, I picked up this jersey on Black Friday of 2008 at Modell's. You know, I plug Modell's Sporting Goods so many times, you would think that they eventually would, like, send me some, you know, gift receipts or something like that. Mitchell and Ness, too. Come on. I need that Road Gray Johnny Bench jersey. Let's go. But anyhow, yes, this is my reply to your challenge there, Baltrack, because this jersey, it is a Brad Lidge Phillies jersey, and it represents the top moment for me, because Brad Lidge getting that, you know, final out in the '08 World Series, just, you know, finally put a lid to that, you know, futility that we had in Philadelphia for all those years, you know. And the one thing that, you know, what made that a little extra special, I mean, for me, yes, it was the first championship that I witnessed being a Philadelphia sports fan, first parade, you know, all the good stuff that came with it. But I remember years prior, I believe it was the year the Eagles lost to Tampa Bay in the NFC title game at the last game of Veterans Stadium. And I remember I had such a numb feeling after that. And I remember all I could do was just lay on the floor. You know, and I had a room full of friends around me, and I told them, I said, guys, I don't think we're ever going to see a championship in Philadelphia. If we couldn't win this year, I don't know if it's ever going to happen. And one of the friends that was in the room at the time was my best friend Paul, and he, of course, I know I told the story before on YouTube, but I'll tell it again. He passed away in '05, but I think it was around my birthday in 2004, just before, you know, it was August, late August, so of course it was just before the Eagles, the year that they went and lost, of course, in the Super Bowl. But anyhow, long story short, Paul wrote in a birthday card to me. He said, you know, you're a great fan of all the Philly teams, and, you know, never give up. You know, never stop believing that one of them is going to come through for you sometime and you know, win a championship, and you're gonna, you know, experience it, you're gonna see it, and you're gonna be able to go to the parade, and I'm gonna be there with you. You know, we're gonna go together, and you know, he passed away in '05, but when the Phillies were going through their run in 2008, you know, when they were, you know, beating the Dodgers in the NLCS, and of course the Rays in the World Series, all I could ever, you know, after each win, all I could ever think about was those words that Paul wrote. And it, you know, he told me that, you know, too, also in person. It wasn't just in the card, but he always would encourage me, you know. And all I can think of was those words that he said: "Don't ever give up, you know. Don't ever give up on the teams. You know, you know, they'll win for you someday. Don't you worry." And you know, when the Phillies won, you know, the World Series in 2008, and Brad Lidge got that final strikeout, it meant so much. And every feeling that I could have ever, you know, dreamt of all those years when we were losing, you know, championships and, you know, championship games and what have you, and, you know, all those feelings that I always said, am I ever going to be able to experience this watching watching these teams? You know, they finally came to be, and it was everything that I could have ever imagined it would be. I mean, everything from, you know, me running outside like a madman, ringing this big bell that I have in the middle of the street, and people pulling over in cars and getting out, and we're embracing one another. Total strangers. And it's a waiting in line there. Speaking of models, waiting in line until 2 a.m. to get the championship merchandise, and then of course the parade, that Halloween day, 2008. That sea of red that was in Philadelphia that day, where getting around the city was a nightmare afterwards, but it was okay. Because it was a moment that you never forget. I still have in a plastic bag. I still have the confetti from that parade that I grabbed from the street and held on, put it in my pocket. It's a moment that it's everything that I ever could have hoped that it would be. I think the only parade that would ever top that one would be if the Eagles ever win a Super Bowl. And that would be something else. They may have to close the city down for a week after that parade. But the one thing I did when I went to that parade is that I knew Paul was there in spirit, and he told me in the card, and he told me in person too. But he said, "I'll be there with you. We're gonna go to the parade. We're gonna watch the parade together." Well, obviously, we couldn't really do that, but I knew he was there in spirit. But what I did was, it's funny when a team wins a championship, and you're a fan of the team, you always hear stories of what people do and what little trinkets people take with them to these parades, or whatever it is. And for me, it was this picture, and I took this picture with me. And I know I talked about this in another video, but there we are. There's Paul and I, and this was at a Flyers playoff block party at the Wells Fargo Center. At the time, I guess it was the Wachovia Center or whatever it was at the time, First Union Center or whatever. But the Flyers and Sixers would have these block parties prior to the games, and even if you don't have tickets to go to the game, you can still go to the block party and stuff. So we used to do that. We used to, sometimes we would go to the game, but even if we didn't, we would just go for the block party and have fun with the fans and do whatever little games they had out there, pop a shot and all sorts of little things, air hockey or whatever. And so we had our picture taken with these cardboard cutouts of that year of Jeremy Roenick and Mark Recchi. Yes, Boston, before he was a Bruin, he was a Flyer. But there we are. And, I took this picture with me to the parade. I put it in my pocket, and just a little something that I felt like I had to do, and it was a great moment, that parade. It was definitely something, and Paul was there with me, so, definitely there with me in spirit, and it was a great moment. And Baltrack, to answer your challenge, there's no other moment that I would have been able to respond to this challenge with other than the '08 Phillies. It was one of those, just you never forget it. First championship after all those many dark years. And, Paul was right. I saw a championship and I was there, and one of my teams finally came through. Now I just need the Eagles to come. Not that I'm being greedy or anything, but come on, Eagles, let's go. All right, the Flyers and Sixers too, but at any rate, that's gonna do it for this video. It's really hot here, so I gotta get back under the fan before I melt away. But yes, the Brad Lidge replica home white Phillies jersey with the '08 Phillies, the '08 World Series champion patch on there is my reply, my answer to your challenge of my top moment jersey, having to do with my top moment. And I hope you enjoyed it. I hope all the other jersey heads, whoever watched this video, enjoyed it too. A big shout out, as always, to all the jersey heads out there. Of course, Baltrack for the challenge. to all my subscribers, I mean, I just, you know, you can never say it enough. Thank you all so much for subscribing and for all the kind words to my channel. I mean, I have a lot of fun putting these videos together. It's something that I look forward to, and I hope that, you know, it comes out in these videos, because I really do enjoy this. So I thank you all for subscribing. Keep hitting that subscribe button to me and to all my other Jersey heads too, because that you know, we're making these videos because, you know, there might be one, or, you know, each of us is showing one jersey that has a great moment for all of us, but really it's collecting as a whole that you know, we do it because it means a lot to us. You know, that's why we collect. Anyone who collects anything, they collect it because it means a lot to them. And for us, it's jerseys, and that's what we do. We do what we do. But anyhow, the '08 Phillies, very special team, and never will forget that moment when Brad Lidge got the strikeout to end the '08 World Series. I'm so glad it was a strikeout, too. That was just the best. It's like Tug McGraw in 1980. But anyhow, shout out to all my family and friends as well. Thank you all for all your support, too. It can never be said enough, too. I know my family always says, "How many jerseys do you have?" You know? But hey, it's a passion, you know. It's yes. But at any rate, this is MightyFan saying peace, and I'll see you in the next video. All right, bye.